Today we're going to be focusing on firearm safety, primarily the 4 safety rules and also 2 training aids. Welcome to Expedition Lightbulb. September 1st, Texas became a constitutional carry state, meaning you can carry without a permit. Whether or not I or you agree or disagree, it is law. So I wanted to come out with a video on weapon safety. The 4 safety rules are going to be coming from the Marine Corps manual with my interpretation. We're also going to come up with 2 training aids so that way to acclimate yourself with the weapons. Let's go over the 4 safety rules. I remember them as FLIP. It's easy for me because I'm Filipino. As a disclaimer, these weapons were cleared before we started the episode. Number 1 is going to be finger off of the trigger. This is a mechanical tool. This will not go off unless you depress this trigger. I'm going to show you a training aid. This is a drill. This drill will not automatically come on unless I press this trigger. These 2 are the same. These are tools. 2 is going to be loaded. Treat every weapon if it was loaded. You will see the magazine inserted here, and I will not point this at anybody because I am going to respect it. Same as if you have a large EDC knife. I'm going to treat this the same as if it was this, right? This is inert, this is live. This can actually hurt me, but if I was to give this to anybody, I would still treat it like if it was a live knife, like so. Okay? Treat every weapon like if it was loaded. Number 3 is identify your target. What is your target? Is it steel? Is it paper? What is in front of it? Did your cow walk in front of it? Did your dog walk in front of it? Did your kid walk in front of the target? What's behind it? Is there a farm? Is there a school behind it? Can my rounds ricochet and hit something? So identify your target, especially if it's a bump in the night. Is it your son? Is it your daughter? Or is it a burglar? Identify your target. So that's number 3. Number 4 is never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot. My wife is the camera person right now. My dog is over there at the couch. As you can see, if I'm going to turn to the right, I will go like this. Or come down this way like that. As you can see, I did not point it at anybody, including myself. This is a green gun. It's a rubber gun. I don't like doing this, but you shouldn't do this either. Put your hand in front of the muzzle or any part of your body in front of the muzzle. If you're going to turn, you're going to take it, exaggerate, and look to see if anyone's over there. Again, up like this. As you can see, I am not pointing it at myself, my wife, or my dog. So number 4. 4 safety rules, flip. Finger off the trigger, treat every weapon if it was loaded, identify your target, and never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot. And this weapon's cleared. The 2 training aids that I made mandatory for my live classes are going to be rubber guns and dummy rounds. My first request is that you guys buy a rubber gun. The reason why, it is inert. I want you guys to get familiar and acclimate yourselves to this weapon. Most firearm owners will actually buy the weapon, maybe go to the range and shoot it. Most will just put it underneath the closet, underneath the shoes and all the junk. When it comes time to actually using it, if there's a bump in the night, that is not a time to form muscle memory. Get familiar with your firearm. For instructional purposes only, I will actually point this weapon at me. As we know, this is an inert gun. The first thing I want you guys to do is follow the safety rules. Never point a weapon that you don't intend to shoot, and hopefully it's you. So I'm going to move this gun that way. Put it on your coffee table. Put it somewhere where you hang out. That way you can actually see the weapon, visualize it, touch it, and manipulate it when you want. As you go about your day, make sure it's not pointed at you. As your wife comes into the room, the same thing. If your wife comes over here, you're going to flip it over. As she moves, you're going to flip it over. It is a fun game. At the same time, your wife is actually acclimating for you to have the weapon there. It's a rubber gun. When you have the real gun, you will have it unloaded and you're going to go through the same process. That way, everybody gets to see it. Now, your kids. When the kids see it, it's not hide it right away. What you want to do is have it out. Let's talk about it. When you see it, get their curiosity away from it. Ask questions. At the same time, guess what? Don't point it at them. If they start pointing it at each other, that's when to scream and yell at them. It's a rubber gun, so it cannot hurt them. Don't use a live gun. Obviously, for that reason, they can shoot each other, right? So always use a dummy gun. The other purposes for this, you can use this for your presentation. You can reholster it. You can actually use the front sight to actually practice like if you were shooting. So there are many, many advantages to this. It is a training aid. It is a safety aid. It's under $20. You have to get this. The second item I'm going to request for you to buy is going to be dummy rounds. The reason why is you can load and unload your weapon in an inert fashion with these. You can also dry fire with these, which are going to be better for your weapon. Imagine if you're going to be loading and unloading your weapon, trying to get familiar with a live round. You have one mistake and this is going to go through the wall. If you live in an apartment, in a suburban area, or in a farm, you just do not want that on your conscience. And if it tags somebody, I'm going to tell you right now, it is going to haunt you. It's going to haunt you. So get the appropriate size round, it says it on your barrel, and buy these dummy rounds. I'm going to request that you guys get a zoom. And the reason why is a zoom, this is a solid metal, and it is very durable. If you get the Tipman, these are plastic and these will eventually break, and we'll show you a picture of it actually cracking. Don't get the Gun Show Special. The Gun Show Specials are usually plastic, and once you start manipulating that, it starts to rip apart because it's a soft plastic. So get a zoom. Just because we can carry without a permit doesn't mean we have to go rush into carrying a gun. My suggestion to you is still to get a rubber gun. Carry this around if you have to. Once you get comfortable with carrying this rubber gun, you can carry a gun without rounds in the chamber. Once you get comfortable with that, that's when you can go condition 1 and actually carry that weapon. With that being said, guys, please be responsible. Be a good civilian gun owner.